So everybody go night-night.
Everybody go night-night.
So that's from a Kevin Hart stand-up, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By myself. In a cell.
It's got some bad words, so we'll spare you.
It's racy language.
Racy.
Racy language.
Okay. So racy. Anyway, it's a new episode called Everybody Go Night-Night.
It's all about getting those Z's, yo.
Yeah. You like Z's.
I do like Z's. They're hard to catch, but when you catch them, they are something else.
Okay. I am Zuri, and this is your invitation to be the beautiful you. Welcome to our podcast. My co-host and partner is expansion coach Mikey Starr.
And she's lifestyle coach Zuri Starr. And together, we make the empowerment couple.
We are the founders of the Omnimedia organic lifestyle company, I Am Zuri, and we have teamed up to bring you a healthy lifestyle podcast.
Each week, we'll bring you either a special guest or a peek behind the scenes at how we are co-creating our most beautiful life. Our goal with this show is to energize, edify, and elevate your day.
Walk with us as we chart a course to living your most beautiful life.
Your most beautiful life.
Never do that again. All right, we're going to record this episode called Everybody Go Night-Night.
Everybody go night-night. Is it too loud?
That's a little loud.
Okay.
I think you just killed some people.
Sorry.
So it's very typical when people talk about sleep to address your sleep habits based upon whether or not you can fall asleep and stay asleep or not. As healthcare in the United States is commonly focused on treating symptoms and curing diseases, U.S. healthcare places a higher focus on sleep disorders rather than sleep health. While not everybody suffers from sleep disorders, everybody should focus on how to improve their sleep.
Indeed. Well, while wading through the research done on behalf of one of our most common experiences, sleep, we came across a paper regarding the topic of whether or not healthcare professionals should be focusing on sleep disorders or sleep health.
It makes me think of that Mother Teresa quote that stated something like she wouldn't go to an anti-war rally, but she would attend a pro-peace demonstration. So when it comes to sleep, do you want to focus on how bad it is or how good it can get?
The empowerment couple says...
Focus on how good it can get.
Indeed, how good it can get. Now, between the two of us, we represent both sides of the bed, if you will.
Both sides of the bed.
You know what I'm saying? Zuri is habitually a solid sleeper.
Hi.
And I am habitually a problematic sleeper. Now, there's a distinct difference between the two definitions for sleep health and for sleep disorders. Let's start with the definition of sleep disorder. The 2011 National Institutes of Health Sleep Disorders Research Plan defines sleep deficiency as a deficit in the quantity or quality of sleep obtained versus the amount needed for optimal health, performance, and well-being. Sleep deficiency may result from prolonged wakefulness leading to sleep deprivation, insufficient sleep duration, sleep fragmentation, or a sleep disorder such as obstructive sleep apnea that disrupts sleep and thereby renders sleep non-restorative. Although very detailed, not everyone will connect with this definition.
But the definition of sleep health is a multi-dimensional pattern of sleep wakefulness adapted to individual, social, and environmental demands that promotes physical and mental well-being. Good sleep health is characterized by subjective satisfaction, appropriate timing, adequate duration, high efficiency, and sustained alertness during wakeful hours. But what I find interesting about these two definitions is that they are the inverse of the other.
Yeah.
Even to the point that when discussing sleep health, everyone is invited to the discussion who doesn't want to get even better sleep. So I do sleep well, but this is interesting to me because you can always improve your sleep. You can always improve your health. You're always growing. So are you monitoring your sleep? How do you know if you're getting good sleep? There are a lot of gadgets, from apps to rings to watches, to track this, but let's focus on how you can assess your sleep right now.
Our research found a quick self-assessment tool called SATED. Basically, it's an acronym. It's SATED, and it's designed to be done quickly and to determine whether or not you can make improvements on your sleep health. SATED is short for satisfaction, alertness, timing, efficiency, and duration. It's basically pulled from the definition of sleep health.
Interesting.
Now, I took the test already. So what I'm going to do, Zuri, is I'm going to ask you the following questions. And after the test, we can compare our results.
Okay, how do we do this?
Listeners, if you guys want to take part, just grab yourself a quick little pen and paper.
Or PodFam, you can use your phone.
Or your phone, yes. Yeah, it's only 5 questions, so those with stunning memories, you don't need anything. Okay, so
I like how you looked at me.
yeah, I do look at you. You have a stunning memory.
Stunning.
Stunning. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The questions are as follows. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you can answer them 3 ways. 0 is rarely or never. 1 equals sometimes. And 2 is usually always. So again, 0 is rarely, never. 1 is sometimes. 2, usually always. So the first question, Zuri, are you satisfied with your sleep?
2, which is usually always.
Okay. Alertness, do you stay awake all day without dozing?
2, usually always.
Nice. Timing, are you asleep or trying to sleep between 2 to 4 a.m.?
I'm definitely sleeping, so I'm going to say 2, usually always.
Nice. Efficiency.
Such an overachiever over here.
You're an overachiever. I almost failed this test. Efficiency. Do you spend less than 30 minutes awake at night, to include the time it takes to fall asleep and awakenings from sleep, basically to go to the bathroom or to get a drink of water?
2? Wait, what? Do you spend less than 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't spend any time awake at night. So that would be 2, right?
Yeah, well, okay, so again, how that number also includes how quickly you can fall asleep. So if you're laying in bed for, say, 15 minutes before you fall asleep.
Never.
Okay, got it. So you'd be number 2, right?
I'm like, I hit the pillow and then I'm like, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. And then I pass out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that because I'm listening to it. Yeah. Yeah. And then duration. Do you sleep between 6 to 8 hours per day?
Yes, I sleep 8 hours. So 2.
So you're 2 all the way down.
Yeah. So that's what, 5? So that makes me 10.
So, okay. So basically add together all of your numbers and place yourself on the scale between 0, poor, to 10, and to great. So you are at a 10. So you get great sleep.
Yes. But you know what? I got to say that the times that I don't get great sleep is when I am at like a conference or like out of my like element. Sometimes I don't sleep as well. So I took that based upon like my average sleep at home.
Yes, that's what you're supposed
to do.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, 10, honey.
Well, unfortunately, I'm below the power curve. I'm at a 4. PodFam, what is your sleep score?
Yes, send us a DM or leave us a message. Let us know what is your sleep score.
Indeed. So based on this self-assessment tool, what can we do to improve our sleep health?
The first question on that SATED, is that how you say it? SATED assessment is based upon satisfaction. Are you satisfied with your sleep? The first thought that came to my mind when I hear this question is, do you look forward to going to sleep? If not, it may be time to upgrade how you sleep. So I came up with a game after thinking of reasons why someone wouldn't want to sleep, and it made me have some funny memories. And it's called Peek and Pit.
Peek and Pit.
We're going to play this game that basically I want you to tell me your peak, which is your best night of falling asleep, and your pit, which is the worst way to wake up.
Ooh, goodness.
Okay. So let's start with our peak, and I'll have you go first.
Okay. So the peak is falling asleep, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
like your favorite way that you've ever fallen asleep in your life.
the most memorable time of falling asleep was when we were traveling in Costa Rica. And we were staying at that cute little jungle inn, right? It was all on stilts above
In Tortuguero?
In Tortuguero, yeah. And, the lights went out and you heard just
it's in the middle of the rainforest. Like you had to take a boat to get there.
Full on
kind of like
Disney
reminding me like,
Jungle Cruise,
Disney Jungle Cruise.
And it was in the middle of the tropical rainforest, and the sounds of all of the night creatures and then the running water was just intense. Now, what was crazy is that most of those sounds were these like super poisonous insects and huge spiders and, crazy
venomous snakes.
Yeah. But I felt
howler monkeys.
Exactly. But
Hey,
I felt
Mike, what is that? What's that sound?
Yeah.
Is that a lion? It's like, no, it's a monkey.
But it also sounded like, Mother Nature was just kind of cradling us in this cocoon of sound. And I had the best dreams. It was so nice.
Yeah, we were only there, I think, 3 days, but that was, pretty magical.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, that sucks because I was kind of going to go for that one. But I would probably pick...
You snooze, you lose. Yeah.
Oh, no. Dad jokes are back, babes. All right, PodFam. My pick would probably be second to that because that was magical. Mm-hmm. We spend time at this place by Avila Beach in California called Sycamore Springs, and they have these mineral spring hot tubs that are part of your room. Mm-hmm. And we always dump a full bag of Epsom salt in them when we get there. Mm-hmm. So you're getting minerals and, Epsom salts and, we put essential oils. Anyway, we probably break a lot of rules. Hopefully they're not listening. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say that after soaking in that, I sleep so good when we go there.
And it's not just the falling asleep, it's waking up and feeling like you've got a brand new body.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's whoa.
Yep. So if you guys have access to hot springs, whether at a fancy resort or in nature, I would highly recommend that. But there's ways that we're going to tell you can kind of recreate that. All right, so let's go to the pit.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell me your worst way you've ever been woken up.
Now, mind you, I was a Marine, and I've been woken up on constant occasions in all kinds of nasty ways.
Like what?
We won't go into those ones. Right? Some of those are still somewhat traumatic for me. However...
Maybe that's why you're having a hard time sleeping.
Yeah.
You're having military flashbacks.
Indeed. Firewatch. What? No. So...
Okay, outside of the military then?
Outside of the military.
Give us one that we can...
The three of us were traveling. I don't remember exactly where we were. It was a nice hotel. We had just fallen asleep, and someone had pulled the fire alarm. And for the next 40 minutes, every 30 seconds, the fire alarm would go. Whoop,
yep. And the light flashing.
And the light and the flashing.
Yeah, it was at a Four Seasons, and they had a wedding or something, and so somebody from the wedding was drunk.
A drunk chick, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
It was a drunk chick. Anyways.
Filling in the memory part for you.
So, between the two beds, there's, about 6 feet in the air, there was a flashing light, a little strobe light that's really meant to wake you up and get out of the building. And then that piercing noise. Mm-hmm. And every single room
was effective, I got to say.
Yeah. And, it's one of those things where you wake up and you're like, is this a real, crisis? Is this fake? Right. So I poked my head out the window, out the hallway, and, people were doing the same. There was no smoke. And of course, I went down to the lobby, and the guy's like, sorry, this lady over here pulled the fire alarm. And sure enough, there was this lady who was just struggling. Like
she was swaying.
She was swaying and like, pounding her. She was a drunk Karen.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
poor thing.
It was gnarly. But unfortunately, they had to wait for the fire department to come and turn off the alarm. And it took a good 40 minutes.
I think it was longer than that. But anyway, 40 minutes is a long time to have a siren and a flashing light. I didn't sleep that night after
I didn't
that.
sleep that night either.
I was pissed.
Yeah, I was really pissed.
Okay, mine is going to be from when we lived in Calabasas and this little tiny apartment. And we were asleep. And there was this woman who lived downstairs that was older. A lot of the community was older, which is very common for that area. And 3 of us lived in this little space where you could hear, kind of everything that's happening next door or beneath you. And we overheard lots of things. But the thing that woke us out of sleep that I'm referring to was this woman who lived downstairs was about probably 70s. And in the middle of the night, we just hear this woman screaming, rape, rape. And we're like, oh my gosh. And I heard it like the 3rd time, but Mike had already sprung out of bed and was out the door. And he was in his underwear. You were in your underwear. And I was like, what is he doing? What's he going to go do? Like go fight off some guy who's raping somebody? Like it was,
I don't know.
It was an awful feeling because I was half asleep. I woke up and I'm like, somebody's getting raped. And so Mike is gone fighting off somebody in his underwear. So I think, and so I run into the kitchen. I grab a kitchen knife and then I go in my daughter's room and I wait in my daughter's room with the door locked. Like, what is happening in this neighborhood? It wasn't necessarily a dangerous neighborhood, but it's part of LA, whatever. Things happen. And so he comes back upstairs and I was like, what happened? What happened? Did you guys call the cops? Or he was gone for a while, or what seemed like a while.
About 5 minutes.
Yeah, to you it was 5 minutes. To me, it was like 45. And so I'm just waiting and I haven't woken up my daughter. I'm just like, holy crap, what's going on? So he comes back inside. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, maybe I'll let you tell.
Well, okay, so Calabasas is well known for
the short version, okay?
its coyote population. So this lady was taking her dog out for a midnight walk on a leash, and she saw a coyote kind of circling her and freaked out and basically said the one word that she knew would get a lot of people's attention. And it did. I don't know why I darted down in my underwear. I don't know what I was going to do.
I think you were going to fight somebody or save somebody, which was, to me, I was like, damn. But also at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute, what about me?
Yeah.
I was like, what if the rapist comes upstairs, honey?
Halfway down the stairs, I was like, yeah, what if the cop thinks I'm the rapist?
I know, you're down there in your
I'm
underwear.
Doomed, right? But lo and behold, I basically kind of chased the coyote away. She grabbed her dog, and then she kind of hustled back into her house. Didn't say thank you, didn't do anything, just was so distraught. And
the next day, our neighbors, we were retelling this story and they're like, oh, we didn't hear anything. I'm like, well, glad we have Mike in the neighborhood to save us all from a rapist.
I'm a light sleeper with cat-like reflexes.
Okay, so those are Peek and Pit. That's our game for today. And hopefully you enjoyed those random stories. But let's get back to empowering you. Mm-hmm. Do you have good sleep habits or poor sleep habits? Here are some habits we recommend. We like to call this time of night tea light, tea time. The habit is basically drinking tea just before bed with either a tea light or a salt lamp. And in this section of the podcast, I really want to give you some product recommendations if this is an area that confuses you the most of what do I do? Where do I buy this? How do I improve? All of that type of stuff. So our tea picks for good sleep would be anything organic, organic chamomile, organic night-night tea from Traditional Medicinals. There's an herbalist out in California that you can order teas from, and she ships everywhere, called Emma's Herbs, and they are organic as well. She has one that's called Insomnia Tea that we talked about on another podcast, and that's your favorite.
That is my go-to.
Yeah. And my go-to for sleep tea from Emma's Herbs is pituitary tea, and it really... Man, it puts me to sleep quick, and I have great dreams, and I sleep like nothing else. So organic tea, though, is a must when using this ritual because tea leaves are not washed, and therefore you're drinking like a toxic chemical cocktail rather than tea, just straight tea out of sleep. So always buy organic. We'll link to more on our blog, but it's an inexpensive way to get you nice and tired. And another way to supercharge your sleep and relax your body is to take a bath using Epsom salt. So like we told during our Peek and Pit game, Epsom salt is a great way just to get more magnesium into your body, which is a mineral that's known to relax you.
I have a PM yoga sequence that focuses on forward folds, deep stretches, and restorative-based inversions such as child's pose. The key is keeping your head below your heart. We will link you to that sequence in the show notes and show blog. I also like sleep mantras and meditation. I spend about 5 or 10 minutes preparing my mind for a more restorative sleep. And when I remember to do that, I fall asleep well. When I don't, no good.
Yeah, that's the thing about rituals is that the whole point of creating these habits is so that they become habitual rituals so that you don't have to think about it or remember or like try to like program your day. Like it's basically just part of our sleep ritual at night. And sometimes you do forget and you're like, oh, I'm just going to lay down. I'm like, no, you need to go do yoga. No, go stand on your head.
Go stand on my head. Find a mantra that you like. Try Yoga Nidra. And that's a great practice. You use that, right?
Yeah, I really like Yoga Nidra to like relax if I'm going to do yoga. I can't do the crazy inversions and stuff that he does. It wakes me up. So find what works for you. Your body scan meditation that we have as a, free extra, that things that are going to bring you to a sleep or restful state is what I would recommend trying. And then, I think everything is with sleep or with anything is like we're all different and you got to find what works for you. Yeah. So one of the things that really worked for us is figuring out how to create a sleep sanctuary is what I like to call it. Or if you're Mike, you like to call it a sleep cave. And they're the same thing essentially. And you'll find, that your husband might have different preferences. And if you guys can come together and find the thing that works best for both of you to get great sleep. I know there are a lot of couples who end up just sleeping in separate rooms because they can't figure out what works. But we do sleep in the same bed, and we also don't have like a TV in our room. There's certain things that we won't probably be able to cover in just one podcast, but there's things that we have a high value on our time in our bedroom.
Indeed.
Whether it's for intimacy or it's for sleep or it's for just rest and respite. Your sleep sanctuary is very important, or your sleep cave. We do recommend getting some blackout curtains for basically that less light equals more melatonin production, and that your skin and your eyes are very sensitive to light. So, you can have like a dimmed Himalayan salt lamp in the other room, and you want to have really like no electricity on in your room. The goal of the bedroom is to relax. So, relax. In order for you to really get good sleep, we recommend getting an organic mattress and organic bedding. And we believe that they are the key to a healthy night's rest. And you might be asking, why?
Why?
Unfortunately, conventional beds and bedding contain harmful contaminants like chemical flame retardants, heavy metals, formaldehyde, chloroform. That'll make you go night-night.
A permanent night-night.
Yeah. Phthalates, mercury, and lead, to name a few. You may also have heard the term volatile organic compounds, or you'll see them represented as VOCs, which is a term for hazardous materials, solids or liquids that easily become vapors. These toxins can contact and get absorbed through the skin, your largest organ. But these VOC emissions also pollute the air that you breathe. This is why on previous episodes and in our blog, we suggest an air purifier, and our top pick being IntelliPure. It's the only air purifier using DFS technology, trapping all 3 air pollutants.
I heart IntelliPure.
So you might not have the budget to replace your entire bedroom. And guess what? Neither do we. But we did invest in an air purifier so that while we spend a little less than half of our life sleeping or preparing to sleep in our bedroom, this is an inexpensive tool to incorporate. First, we incorporated plants like the snake plant, which is excellent for removing particles, and it's excellent for sleep. But the next step for us was really adding an air purifier. So you can do these things in phases, but it made a huge difference for us. Next is mattresses. And again, I'd suggest doing these things in stages. So do what works well for your budget. You can track what is really improving your sleep sanctuary and what is not. So when looking for a mattress, you're going to see the following labels, and they're kind of confusing. So there's like eco-friendly, organic cotton, green guard, gold certified, made safe, certified, GOLS certified. You'll see climate neutral certified. So it gets crazy. But what you really want to look for is, I really like made safe. That lets you know how the product was made, and it's pretty extensive what they check off for that. And then if I was going to buy a mattress, I would make sure that Green Guard Gold certified is what you want. We sleep on a plush bed, and we really like it.
It's plush.
Do you like it?
I do. It's
They're
plush.
kind of mid-range, not super expensive, and they always have really great sales. We're not affiliated with them, but I do like plush bed. I would recommend Naturepedic and Avocado mattress, and there's a bunch of other ones we could talk about. My Green mattress. All of these are, like I said, Green Guard Gold certified, and a couple of them are made safe. I think Avocado is made safe. So, check out these mattresses if you're looking to replace yours, or if you want to start with a topper or something that's going to help you sleep better and, do it in stages, right? And then the other thing to think about is sheets, pillows, and blankets. But picking out a pillow or a mattress is not kind of like picking out shoes. You have to find what fits your body, and it's definitely not a one size fits all.
No.
So when you do buy these nice sheets and bedding, of course, you want to make sure that you clean them properly. So it would be kind of silly to buy a really nice organic cotton sheets and then clean them in Tide or something. So the product that we would recommend for cleaning your bedroom would be Branch Basics. And that's because it's a non-toxic cleaner. So you want to use non-toxic cleaners, and you're going to be snuggling up on your pillows and sheets and blankets. And so you want those nice items to be washed in something that's safe. So the big thing with toxic cleaners is the perfumes or they'll call it fragrance. Those disrupt your hormones. And so when you sleep, your hormones actually get repaired. So you definitely don't want to be using products that are going to disrupt your hormones. So, and people will call them endocrine disruptors, and that's just a fancy way of saying that it's going to mess with your hormones. So, we like to use Branch Basics. You can get a code from us, and it's actually way cheaper to use Branch Basics than it is to, say, buy a bunch of fancy name brand products that say they're going to do the same thing. These actually work. We did a test before we became an affiliate. We have a 10% off of any starter kit if you want to check them out. If you're looking to like switch, they're fragrance free and scent free. So if you are sensitive, this is the right product for you. But you can add essential oils. I just saw you smell your shirt. You can add essential oils because, to like whatever scent you want to the products.
What do you put on ours? Because my clothes smell really nice.
Well, I think right now I kind of switch it up. Sometimes I use peppermint, but I think right now I have a lavender going on. But you can add
Lavender
anything.
is
And
lovely.
we use their dryer balls, so I put the dryer balls instead of like a fabric softener or dryer sheet. So that's a lot where the scent on your clothes comes from, if you like a scent.
I mean, I'm pretty sweet, but it's nice.
Oh, jeez, here we go. So the other thing I would suggest as far as looking at like just products when we talk about making it a sanctuary, our goal is to really empower you to make choices that will help you get the best sleep possible. And some of these come from just hearing what people's complaints are. I know that there's a lot of our pod fam that's in different cities, metropolises.
Metropoli.
Metropoli. So sleep sounds to buffer loud noises such as nearby traffic and loud neighbors that scream in the middle of the night, like our story earlier. Maybe it's a noisy dog, or hey, maybe you're in the country and it's a rooster. I don't know. But pick something soothing like the sound of trickling water or nocturnal insects, or our favorite, like we told you about, our rainforest thunderstorm, like we experienced in Costa Rica. So aromatherapy and diffuser will allow you to then add scents to your room. So speaking on scents again and using essential oils, I like Roman chamomile, lavender, but you can make a sleep blend. So kind of find out what scent makes you feel really sleepy and comforted. And, you could probably speak to this, but there's certain scents that help you balance. And the key to falling asleep and having a healthy night's sleep is balance. Libra, I'm looking at you. And also, like having your lower chakra is basically, makes you feel safe, right? So, scents that make you feel safe and secure allows you to kind of root in and get a really good night's rest.
I like sandalwood.
Yeah, you like sandalwood. So you find things that work. I know there's a lot of people who like cedarwood for sleep, and we have some sleep blends. I go over some of those blends on the blog, and you're always welcome to message me if you're having a hard time with any of this.
Don't you have one that keeps the bugs away? Was that eucalyptus?
Yeah, I do eucalyptus and lemongrass, and just kind of depends. Sometimes I'll add a little peppermint and tea tree.
Nice.
Yeah. If I use that in the summer, I diffuse it through the whole house. So we never have mosquitoes in here. But the combination of sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste programs the senses to know that sleep is coming. So I really like to look at the sanctuary as a way of really, appealing to all of your senses. So, if you're not excited about going to sleep, like you said, you might be like, yeah, I'm not really excited going in my room.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all been in places in our life where you're not super excited about the bed that you have, or you're not super excited. And there's ways to kind of get around all of this, is like, adding, putting a little bit of essential oils, even in a spray mister works really good. Mike and I have been in the place of living in noisy apartments, eating beans out of a can. So trust me when we tell you that we have all the hacks figured out of how to do it without spending a ton of money. Yeah. We'll link you to a great diffuser if you'd like to purchase one, so that you can kind of get around buying the wrong ones. We've made the mistake of buying ones that are expensive or hard to open, or we have one that we don't use that was the most expensive, and it's really pretty, but I can't get it open. So that's not going to do you any good. So we always like to give you product recommendations to take the guesswork out, and a lot of them we won't be affiliated with. And we are aiming to keep this a advertisement-free podcast for you, PodFam. We will sometimes talk about our affiliate products, and we will also talk about our programs, but only if it makes sense, never to push anything on you. So I hope that you find these useful and helpful. The last thing I would say is that you want to remove EMFs and turn on airplane mode and place the phone in another room or turn it off completely, depending if you're using it as your alarm, like most of us. But yeah, you can put it in your bathroom, and it's just that if it's next to you, your mind will find a reason to either pick it up first thing in the morning or, which I've definitely been guilty of at different times in my life. But you want to give your brain the gift of good sleep. And in order to do that, you definitely need to have as much of those EMFs turned off and, stopped.
Indeed. Okay, moving forward. The next acronym in SATED is A, alertness. So do you stay awake all day without dozing? For those who rely on a sleeping aid to fall asleep and stay asleep, you may be improving the quantity of sleep at the cost of quality. So sleeping pills, alcohol, even pot, they work, but they come with a major cost aside from the possibility of becoming addicted to them. Although pills, pot, and Pinot will certainly allow you to fall asleep and even stay asleep.
I need a shirt that says that. Pills, pot, and Pinot.
Pills, pot, and Pinot. Gimme. But they all weigh down your liver.
Leave it to you to be like, I'm going to add something poetic here.
Oh, that's my blood type. They all weigh down your liver. And the liver is known as the silent organ and can experience trauma without obvious signs, right? There's not a whole lot of nerve endings that are going into the liver, right? So insomnia isn't an obvious sign of liver stress, but it is a sign of liver stress, right? So the liver is the primary site for the clearance of circulating melatonin, which is, of course, the hormone responsible in regulating your sleep-waking cycles, right? And studies show that poor liver health may decrease the melatonin clearance rate, which means that throughout the day, instead of burning the supercharged serotonin, which keeps you up and alert, you're still burning the melatonin left in your system from the night before.
Oh, wow.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, this will cause you to be mentally sluggish during the day, requiring you to take naps or stimulants such as that extra cup of coffee, right? Now, there's the cycle that you enter into, right? Where you nap or over-caffeinate during the day because you're tired, and then you take a sleeping aid at night to fall asleep, and while your liver should be filtering out the melatonin, it's dealing with the toxins found in the pot, the pills, and the Pinot. Right?
Yeah. So, and then timing is really important. Are you asleep between 2 and 4 a.m.? Pulling an all-nighter to finish a project or celebrate some, special birthday or wedding, or, hey, I'm on vacation, so I can do whatever I want.
I'm going to do whatever I want.
But for those of you who make, at a point to push your limits, not only are you then out, cutting back on quantity, you're also significantly reducing the quality. So what happens if you do pull that all-nighter, then you are disrupting your circadian rhythm. And so going back to timing, your circadian rhythm is really important. And there is this thing called chronotypes. And do you know what your chronotype is? So your chronotype comes from Dr. Michael Breus. And he's also known as a sleep doctor. And basically, there are 4 chronotypes. These chronotypes are byproducts of our evolution and how we as a species have become who we are today. So the 4 chronotypes are dolphin, lion, bear, and wolf. And I'll go over them very quickly to explain them. Dolphin is typically awake from sleep and struggles with napping and are often tired through the day with a spurt of energy in the early evening. Lion, they get up early with plenty of energy and are sharpest in the morning and are often organized leaders. Bear tend to follow the typical day and night schedule and sleep well, though it may take them a little longer to get going in the morning. Wolf are essentially night owls. I don't know why they didn't just call them owls.
Yeah.
And tend to be the most active and alert in the early evening hours and are somewhat out of sync with the rest of the world.
What would you call yourself?
Well, I took the test and I don't know if it's right. So I think I need to retake the test because it said I was bear, but I don't really take a long time getting up in the morning. And I guess I follow this regular schedule, but did you take the test?
I didn't take the test, but I know for certain that I'm a wolf.
Okay.
Not because I'm fierce, but because that describes
Do you
me.
like to howl? Okay. The importance of knowing your chronotype is so that you can shape your expectations and sleep schedule to fit your needs rather than try to be a lion when clearly you are a wolf. Be a wolf. This goes back to our other episode about knowing yourself, right? So these tests, they just allow you to know yourself a little bit more. Sometimes you won't agree with them. Like I was like, am I a bear? I don't know. Kind of feel like maybe more of a lion. I don't know. Anyway, but I do think that I have a regular sketch, so maybe it's right.
Yeah. I think you're definitely a bear. But anyways, moving right along, we have next is, the stated acronym is E, and E stands for efficiency. So the question is, do you spend less than 30 minutes awake to include the time it takes to fall asleep and awakenings during sleep, which basically means how long does it take you to fall asleep? And when you do fall asleep, do you wake up to go to the bathroom, to get a drink of water? Basically, like when counting sheep, are you counting a handful of sheep or are you inventorying the whole flock? I am the flock inventory guru. You know what I mean?
You've got all the sheep.
Oh yeah, I know them all by name.
They're all. You know what I do? I count blessings or gratitude, whatever you want to call it. I just fall asleep to saying, "I'm so grateful for blah blah blah.
Me?
I'm so grateful for this
A husband?
so grateful for." You got more?
No. That's all you should be grateful for.
That's all I got. No, but honestly, by the time I'm at 3, I'm asleep. I never really get to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But I feel it in my bodies. I don't just say it. I don't just like, I'm so grateful for. No, I like really, like, I'm so grateful for the sunshine I had on my skin today. And then I'll like feel it. And then I'll go to the next one. And like, I think there's some magic to it. I know I've told you to try it, but anyway.
I've tried it.
You like it?
I do like it.
It doesn't work?
It works sometimes.
See, it's not one size fits all, folks.
Exactly. You have to find your zhush, as you say, right? Did I say that right?
Shush, yes.
Shush.
That's my word.
All right. Well, going back to efficiency, a couple things you want to check in order for you to get to bed on time and fall asleep fast is your caffeine intake. Kind of goes without saying, but studies show that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 8 hours. So it would be wise to create a caffeine cutoff time based on when you normally go to bed. So, if it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. What time would I like to go to bed?
Yeah.
I would like to be in bed by 11 and sleeping by 11:30. So I think we did the math really quick and it came to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Something like that.
8-hour difference from 11.
Yeah. Do the math.
3. You need to be no caffeine after 3.
After 3. And
if you want to really sleep.
So we have our 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock
2 o'clock
cup of, don't say that.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock cup of tea. And anything beyond that, and I'm doomed.
Yeah, we do have tea around that time, but it's green tea. And so, but yeah, if you're sensitive, definitely cut it off.
Also, your food, what food are you eating just before you sleep? So I generated a very quick good foods and bad foods list. So for your good foods, we have almonds, which are high in melatonin and magnesium, which is, of course, the sleep or the sleep hormone and the relaxation mineral. There's turkey, if you are meat eaters. Turkey is high in tryptophan, which actually helps the body produce melatonin, one of its processes. There's tart cherry, which you turned me on, which
I
is...
turned you on.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's so many little funny ones in that one. But let's keep going.
Okay. Anyway.
Tart cherry.
I'm your tart cherry.
And a tart cherry, exactly.
Now, so tart cherry, it's like a juice, or you can have actual tart cherries for
and where
your
did you
dessert. I'll link to you guys to it in the show notes. But basically, tart cherry is a juice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, you could eat it as like frozen tart cherries.
Mm-hmm.
But continue, yeah. You put it on your yogurt sometimes, right?
Yeah, it's like a concentrated juice. It
kind of
works.
reminds me of like when we were in Greece and having the
spoon
sweet.
Super yummy. But tart cherry is very high in melatonin. Cashews are great. They're also high in magnesium. So, the good foods list are basically any foods that reduce inflammation or aids in the process of creating or absorbing magnesium and melatonin. Then your bad foods, which...
And there's a lot more you could add.
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's like a very short list. So, but that's really good. You can let people know, like, hey, just make sure it's like helps melatonin and magnesium.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the key.
Then there's your bad foods list. And no shocker, the bad foods list are going to be foods that are high in sugar, such as ice cream, cake, candy, and most of your processed foods.
Because they're hard to digest.
Yes.
Yep.
Foods that contain caffeine, such as chocolate and coffee, of course. A lot of people don't realize how much caffeine is in chocolate, but there's a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
And any foods that you are allergic to, that will have a negative effect on one or more of your systems, such as your digestive system or nervous system. Mm-hmm. Now, in a previous episode, we mentioned getting an allergy test during our the prevention episode. So if you suffer from poor sleep, an allergy test will determine if what you're eating is one of the culprits.
Right.
So know thyself, right?
Or hormone would be another one. Get a hormone panel.
Yeah, indeed. Hydration also plays a big role in the quality of sleep that you get. So not only do you want to avoid those diuretics, such as alcohol, you also want to make sure that you are properly hydrated before you go to bed.
Yeah, because actually sleeping is very dehydrating act, meaning that while you sleep, of course, you're not drinking water, but unless you're waking up in the middle of the night and drinking water, the first thing you want to do when you wake up is drink a large glass of water. I like to drink like 16 ounces of water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit too about junk light or bad lighting, because that's going to definitely affect how you sleep. If you work in an office building or if you have LED, it seems like those are the only lights you can find at certain places. Yeah. But out of the spectrum of light waves that our eyes can detect, blue light is the shortest. Most of the blue light radiating from the sun is deflected by the molecules in our atmosphere, which is why the sky is blue. But as we upgraded our phones and TVs with LED screens, which are lighter in weight, cooler to the touch, and have a more vibrant display, we increase the amount of blue light that we take in. And new research shows that we can strongly mitigate some of the negative effects of blue light exposure with blue light blocking glasses. A recent University of Houston study performed in a wide range of ages found that levels of melatonin skyrocketed by 58% when nighttime blue light was blocked with amber-colored glasses for 3 hours before bed.
Wow.
This increase was greater than what could be achieved by supplementing with melatonin. Study participants reported sleeping better, falling asleep faster, and even increased their sleep duration by 24 minutes a night.
Wow.
I've been using blue blockers for a while. We both have. And I can confirm that I wake up feeling more refreshed when I use them before bed. I watch TV sometimes after the sun has gone down, and I always make sure I have them on if I'm going to do something on media, but sometimes I just put them on regardless because, the lights in the house. And it really just kind of gets us back to how we were living, before all of these inventions, where when the sun goes down, you get tired because your eyes have to
Going back to
adjust.
what you mentioned about the circadian rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I also have like a blue blocking screen protector on my phone. There are Chrome extensions like Dark Reader and Blue Light Filter Guard. There's a ton of them. So you can put that on your computer. Conversely, when I expose myself to bright blue light in the hours before bed, I find myself waking up kind of feeling groggy. But so I really, advocate using blue blockers at night. And, even if you're using the smart mode and, like the newest iPhone apparently is better. If you do want to try some blue blockers, I would recommend Swannies. I've tried a bunch of different ones. We actually got some cheapies at one time because I was like, I don't want to spend that much on glasses. And, but anyway, I think they're around like $40 or something like that. But the ones that I like are from Swannies and they're awesome. We aren't affiliated, but I can link you to them in our show notes so that you don't have to try something and then be bummed that it didn't work or not really notice a difference. It does matter. Which ones you get, because I know you also tried some of those cheapies that we got originally, and not great. No. But you also want to check what type of lights you use. Limit the use of LED lights in your bedroom or office because they definitely zap your energy.
Yeah, very quick. Then you also want to check on your pre-sleep activities, right? Are you reading a book? And while you're reading a book, are you reading an actual, paper book, or are you reading off of your
Kindle or device? Yeah,
which of course is going to be emitting the blue lights, and then also the type of books or shows that you are reading or watching. Right, they'll also make a difference. So we did an episode on the effects of comedy and how comedy is really healing to your body. Well, horror movies and violent movies, a lot of your dramas out there, they really rattle your nervous system, which may rob you for, 10, 20 minutes of extra sleep, but that's significant.
Or they just might affect the quality of sleep because your immune system is trying to repair or and that's the whole point of doing this episode on sleep is to kind of connect all the dots that it does matter. Like, obviously, everybody go night-night.
Everybody go night-night.
So since everybody go night-night, we need to make sure that we know how to go night-night. Yeah. And humankind has not evolved out of sleeping.
No.
And so, it matters. The whole, you can sleep when you're dead. No, it still matters.
Yeah.
Now.
You can sleep when you're dead, but you'll be dead faster.
Yeah. But so quality of sleep is important. And so D, right? Duration.
Sated, the last
Sated.
one.
Hey, hallelujah. But duration means, do you sleep between 6 to 8 hours a day? Do you know your magic number? We did talk about this on our prevention podcast a little bit. Like, find out your magic number. It's different for everyone. It also ties into your chronotype and, ties into knowing yourself. So if you're consistently hitting that number, then you're probably going to be in good shape. But if you aren't, or if you don't know your magic number and you sleep 6 or 8 hours, 6 is maybe not good. And 8 is maybe not good, but somewhere in there is usually the natural range. Studies show that during deep sleep, the cortex, the part of the brain that's responsible for memory, perception, attention, awareness, consciousness, thought, language, problem solving, advanced motor functions, and social abilities.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, disengages from the senses and goes into recovery mode. Therefore, the more you use your brain during the day, the more it needs to recover at night.
That makes sense.
If you are very active with your brain, then of course you might fall asleep very fast and hard. Like a freight train. The amount of sleep one needs varies, like I said, from person to person, and it's based on your body chemistry, your chronotype, like I mentioned earlier, and how you use your brain during the day. But overall, the optimal number of sleep one needs is, like I said, between 6 and 8 hours. Figure out that magic number. We did find evidence that states that women need more sleep than men due to the fact that women have a higher or a greater ability to multitask. To be clear, I didn't say this. The study said this, okay, before you come for me.
But you know what, though? I can't multitask.
And I will say that I happen to agree with this study. I mean, I think for whatever reason, I think there's lots of reasons why nature decided that women need to multitask, probably because we are, breastfeeding at the same time as making dinner or whatever we've evolved into now. Now it's...
You got to breastfeed and run from the tiger at the same time.
Both men and women who hold complex jobs that require decision-making and lateral thinking, which is a form of problem solving that requires a great deal of creative thinking and imagination, also require more sleep. The amount of extra sleep is roughly 20 minutes.
20 minutes, indeed. So if your job requires you to multitask, make multiple decisions while practicing lateral thinking, you need your sleep. Who in this room has that issue?
Oh, homie, this is a podcast. It's just me and you right here.
Yeah, well, it's not me
right now. Yes. So I need more sleep, which is, hey, I need 8 hours. What do you need?
I need 6.
See? So this study, I not only agree with it, I am part of it.
I endorse it.
I endorse it. Let me have my sleep.
Well, what happens when we don't get enough sleep? That's the question. Well, a lack of sleep robs your body of essential downtime necessary to rebuild vital organs and recharge your nervous system. Sleep deprivation clouds your thoughts, changes your personality, and ages you before your time. Oh, that's scary.
See, let me sleep so I can look young and cute.
That's why I need my beauty sleep.
Exactly,
right?
Beauty sleep.
Well, you can feel the effects of a poor night's sleep throughout the day. But for those of us who learn to normalize these effects, which is what I've done, and develop long-standing poor sleep habits, then you're running into some really bad difficulties. According to a study from 2016, it takes 4 days to fully recover from 1 hour of lost sleep.
Ouch.
So I am still working at a deficit from my childhood.
Pretty much, yeah. So as little as a single night of sleep deprivation can result in a person having a phenomenon called microsleeps. The next day, Feinsilver said, a person begins to fall into mini snooze sessions, which last up to 30 seconds. Imagine those people are driving right now next to you. Stay awake, stay alert, PodFam, if you're listening to us while driving. Mm-hmm. Some people's eyes remain open during these microsleeps. But the disturbing thing about microsleeps is that during sleep, the person is essentially blind.
What?
Even if their eyes are open. And the study goes on just to say that they're not processing information, which is really crazy. So again, sleep. It matters. Studies show that during microsleeps, the brain goes into a sleep state rapidly and uncontrollably.
Wow.
And the study says that people can force themselves awake, but they will soon fall into another microsleep.
Oh, you know what? I can attest to this. I remember being a college student, and I would work what is called a knock shift when I was working at a children's care center. And I would get off work and then drive straight to a morning class at UCSB, which was about 50 minutes away. And I would pull into the parking lot, and I would feel like I had napped the whole way. Luckily, I didn't get into an accident, but sleeping while driving is just as dangerous as drinking while driving.
You mean micro sleeping while driving? Sleeping while driving is probably more dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be clear. So you were probably micro sleeping.
I was probably micro sleeping.
I mean, I've slept in class for sure. 'Cause I used to work night shifts too, and I was not good at it. They pretty much were like, I think we'd rather pay you extra to work during the day than have you work at night. I was worthless.
Yeah.
So in closing of all of this, Sated and Chronotype and, some product suggestions, we hope it was really helpful for you to, better create your sleep sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Every system in your body requires adequate sleep to maintain balance. So if you suffer from a digestive order, a nervous disorder, heart, muscular, or just any disorder, check your sleep health. I would highly recommend getting panels, on your hormones, and these will really lead you to understand what's happening with your sleep. I know that there's so many gadgets out there that are helping people, from mouth guards to mouth tape. I'm going to tape your mouth.
Mouth tape?
You don't know what that is?
No.
So mouth tape is basically when you tape your mouth shut, and they have like special tape, but you can do it with any tape. You tape your mouth shut because studies have shown that you get better oxygen by breathing through your nose, and that, I'll try it on you tonight.
Would a ball gag work?
No, ball gags don't work.
Good.
So we'll try some sleep tape on Mike and get back to you on how that works out. I don't personally use sleep tape, but I know a lot of my colleagues do and swear by it. So anyway, like if you have some type of, health issue, definitely check out your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Quantity isn't enough. You need to, consistent quality sleep to operate at your full potential. Maybe you aren't succeeding at something because there's something happening in your sleep.
Yeah.
So it's a good question to ask yourself, and definitely know that that's when the immune system gets repaired. And like we said, during this time, we need to refocus on how we can best be healthy and strong and productive.
Indeed.
In addition to our product recommendations, there are excellent books about sleep health that go so much deeper than we did, about chronotypes and, from the sleep doctor. And we have some referrals and recommendations for that. These can be things that you either listen to on Audible or read just ahead of sleep. So
now, it's been said that when your brain understands the importance of something, the body can better respond to your habits, much like when you work out in the gym. You need to focus on the muscles you're working so that your body can best respond. So, now that your brain is focused on developing sleep health, your body will follow suit by showing you what it needs to get those Z's.
And everybody wants to get those Z's.
Everybody wants to get those Z's.
See what I did there?
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, Pod Fam, we hope this was inspiring, empowering, and helpful, and we love you so much.
And if we put you to sleep, I hope you get quality sleep.
Yeah. Night-night.
Night-night.
Bye. Night-night. Everybody go night-night.
Everybody go night-night.
I can't open this.
Oh, no, Zuri.
Everybody go night-night.
Your computer went night-night. We hope you received extreme value from this podcast. If you would like to connect with us on a deeper level, you can join our free Tribe subscription newsletter or follow us on social.
And take advantage of our free shopping guides, discounts on products, hacks, and recipes using the links in the show notes. Our aim with every show is to provide you with value, and we welcome your feedback and support. The best way to support us is to click the share button and tell your community about us. You can also subscribe and give us a review. We appreciate you so much for tuning in, and we are honored to help you discover what's beautiful about being you.